Venezuela. All right, latest. The country's begun to ration electricity. I'm surprised they haven't done it a long time ago, actually, in the shape that they're in. And look who's here. Our reporter on Venezuela, the author of Blood Profits. Her name is Vanessa Neumann. You have been to the region.
Yes.
But you wouldn't be allowed to go to Venezuela, would you?
No, I've been told that it would be a bad idea for me to go.
So you went to the region.
They'd be happy for me to enter the airport, but that might be about as far as I can get.
Look, I ask you the same question every time. How does this man, Maduro, how does he cling to power and hold on to power when the entire country is falling to pieces?
Well, the military. It's basically the military is propping him up, and you also have the Cubans, and you have the Iranians, and Hezbollah, his number two.
Hezbollah? What are they doing there?
Oh, absolutely. His number two, there's Vice President Tarek El-Aissami, is a direct blood relative to the clan around Assad's family in Syria. He's a Hezbollah fundraiser. He's one of the biggest Hezbollah fundraisers in the world. So you have operatives from Hezbollah propping them up. You have money and funding and intelligence. And we have like little motorcycle gangs that operate a little bit like the Basij in Tehran, and they help oppress the people. So you have a lot of oppression and illicit financial flows, and the military is still hanging on.
Look, I've given up speculating on when this thing's going to come to an end, because one expects it to come to an end soon, and it never does.
No.
But let's suppose it does come to an end.
Yeah.
How does Venezuela get back on its feet in any way, shape or form towards prosperity?
The only way this happens, really, is a complete reconstruction, where actually a lot of money can be made, because the country has a liquidity problem, but it has great assets. In other words, it has still a great balance sheet that can be leveraged. So basically, once there's a flip, and there might be, because it only has one person and one original general who's still in power. Everybody else is starting to revolt against him. When the IMF comes in, funds it with big loans, funds the reconstruction, sets up rule of law, the IMF will come with strings attached. That will mean American business. It's going to be the IMF and American business. It's going to rebuild the country.
So that's how it works.
Yes.
So, somehow or other, Maduro is out, and he gets a deal. Okay, I'll leave peacefully. You come on in, IMF, with your money. That's how it works.
Well, we hope so. I think they are. It's a very open secret that there are talks to try and get Maduro out peacefully.
Have you ever seen anything like this in a Latin American country before? Because I can't remember it.
Not this spectacularly large. I mean, we've had, you've had economic crises, we've had coups, and you've had military in control. You've had it in Peru, you've had it in Chile, you've had it in Argentina. But it's the fact that you have so many international interests, that you have the Iranians, that you have the Cubans, that you have the world's biggest oil reserves and the world's biggest drug cartel. It's like a witch's brew, the likes of which we've never seen before. So,
I just don't know what on earth the Iranians and Hezbollah are doing there.
Well, flouting sanctions. They've been doing it for years. They've been doing it through the Venezuelan oil company, which is why one of the reasons why Trump is considering his next move is going to be to sanction the oil business, all the oil industry of Venezuela, per se, they've been trying to irk the U.S. by being in the backyard. Venezuela was traditionally a U.S. ally.
Oh, absolutely.
So this is a real thumb in the nose to the U.S.
It's a very prosperous place.
Yeah.
One of the richer countries in the world.
In the world.
40, 50, 60 years ago.
Well, exactly, and it could be again with not only is it number one in oil, it's number 8 in natural gas. You've got oil. So even with the renewable energy, and we have, believe it or not, there's hydroelectric power. We just need the generators to be restarted.
Look, it's March the 19th.
Yes.
Today. Maduro is still in power.
I know.
So I am asking the same old question.
I know.
Is he still in power on December 31st, 2018?
I hope not.
I'm not that.
I've given up predicting as well.
What would happen if you did go to Venezuela? You say you'd be arrested?
I think I've been told I would be. I've been told that I've been told by people who have a connection within the government. They said they renewed my passport, hoping I'll go. But I would have difficulty exiting the airport.
You don't.
But that doesn't mean I won't try.
But I
might try.
You don't communicate with people in Venezuela in a subversive fashion, I take it.
No, of course not.
Do you communicate with them?
That would be a bad idea.
You do communicate with them?
Yes, of course. I communicate. I have lots of people in Venezuela. I have all my friends, and I have lots of people who are also very well informed about what's going on. Even you have to have people on the inside to be able to know what's happening. So. That's the, you know, assessing risk is the business I'm in, and that's how you do it.
Okay, we hear you. Vanessa Neumann, thanks
Thank
for joining
you.
us. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
We'll see you
Thank
soon.
you.